Okay, here's your standard run from Friday. We already talked about that part. I think the rest of the weekend he did it fine. All right. So I thought your beginning was good. I probably would have let out a little bit farther so that you could start to push his line here when he's like between the tire and the jump, because you did it a little bit late. See, you're starting to cut across now, but he's in the stride before he takes off right now, so he can't. See how straight he's jumping, like almost into you? So he just couldn't really do anything about his path very good. So I think it was a good choice that you did that, but I maybe would have let out like a step farther and then started cutting in front of him a little bit sooner. This was, okay, so you didn't really cue a turn very good here, and the weave poles were looming out there. So right here, he's lifting off, and you're still moving forward. You're still not even moving to the right. So now you're moving to the right, but he's like already landed and on the ground. And then you're almost too far ahead for this next part, and so you really send him straight out, and he has to zigzag back. So it would have been better to, if you had left sooner over here, then you could have been farther ahead, and it would have been good to like go into this jump and then pull away so your motion moving away from it was more dramatic. And then it also wouldn't have allowed you to get as far ahead for this next part, and his path could have been a little bit cleaner there. See how far away you are from this jump? Sometimes it's really beneficial, and you can totally do it with him, is to go in deeper to an obstacle and then pull away, because in your motion pulling away from it, it's more obvious that way versus if you kind of stay out here and you do this like kind of rounded path like this. So anyway, something to consider. And see, now you're really not cueing him until right here that he needs to make a turn. And you could have been cueing him on that sooner too. And this was okay move for the weaves. Because you're rotating into him and everything, telling him where to go. Honestly, I think he looked at the judge and was kind of like creeped out by why the judge was standing there, because he's I don't know, maybe not, but see, now he looks sad because he didn't know where to go. So when you practice weaves and proof the weaves, that's one thing that you want to work on, is doing the front cross that you just did, because it comes in handy, but they kind of need to know. I mean, you were turned into him and everything nicely, like here as he's coming, you're turning into him. But if it's not something you've practiced, see how he's running past you too? He just didn't recognize that, oh, that's what you wanted him to do, was the weaves. This part was pretty good. You didn't really cue a turn there, so he looks at the off course. So right here, you should have had your outside arm up. You should have been pulling away that way, something, because you're just going forward. And now you're kind of turning and going in a new direction, but it's too late and he wants to go there. And then you get him back, and we already talked about this. Let's get a little too far ahead of him. This part, that looks really nice. He wows way out of the tunnel there, which is okay, because actually the farther they came out this way and then came back to the triple, they had a nicer approach to the dog walk. But you just want to, and you do keep your eye on him and make sure he takes it, so that's fine. And he gets called on his dog walk. I think he was in the yellow, but okay. So now here again, you don't cue a turn. Look at you. He's in the air and you're still forward, forward. Oops, hang on. Now you're starting to move over and bring up that outside arm. But he's landing. And you're actually still moving forward. So that's why you did that. He needs to know the turns are coming sooner. So, yeah. Not too bad, though.